Welcome to Lesson 10 for Beginners, the Stickfly. This is a relatively simple fly to tie and is very good for still waters and reservoirs, particularly early in the season. Now let's get on and tie the fly. Tying the thread in the normal way. Now the hook we're using today is a Cammiss 9672. You can tie, this is a size 10, you can tie this on a 10, a 12 or a 14. What we're going to do first off is we're going to weight this fly because it's early season, the fish are usually deeper in the water, so we're going to put some lead wire. That's the lead wire that we're going to use. Try to tie it in with, whoops, I'm getting hold of it, keeping it below the hook. If you've got any excess weight on the hook, you want it below rather than above. Wind it on a touching turns. It is important that you keep them fairly tight together. Now the other thing you must bear in mind with lead wire, you've got to anchor it in very well. If the lead wire starts to slip around, your whole fly will disintegrate on you. Slide down the hook and all kinds of mess. But if you wind it, just tie the silk well over it, back and front, it'll keep it in order. Now we're going to put the tail on it. We're going to use Antron. You can do this in green or yellow, preferably something with a little fluorescence about it. It's just to create a little bit of a hot spot for the fly. Leave the tail out for the moment, we'll deal with that at the end of the day. Now we're going to use copper wire for the rib. This is a bit thicker than what you might normally use, but it's a fairly substantial fly. Just tag this in at the back of the lead wire and bring it back up to near the head. When we actually use the peacock herald or a fly as big as this, you might think it's a bit excessive, but you are going to need 5 strands. Trim off both ends. Like so, so all your strands are even. When you tie it in with the thin end, this pointed bits, and there. Now this time, we're going to include the thread in with the herl when we wrap it up the hook. Strengthens the herl. Just does tend to make it a little bit neater. Tie off the peacock herl with a couple of turns just to bind it down. Cut it off. Now we're going to bring the copper wire on. I'm going to do it the opposite way on. Fairly wide ribbing on it. I would like to give a couple of little turns at the head when I finish. Tie that down securely. Do the normal little wiggly bit. The hackle we're going to use can be a dark one like this, it could be a pale brown. I've even used orange. Or, daft as it may seem, even brown partridge can be effective. It's supposed to imitate the legs of the caddisfly, which is what this pattern represents. Put the hackle pliers on, start and just wind it forward. 3 turns should be enough. Roll the hackles back. Make your head. Finish off with 3 double half hitches. First one is the important one. Off any excess little straggling bits of hackle that are flying around. Zap them now. Your hand rod, just pull it tight. Just half a centimetre or so at the back. Now that's the hard bit of the fly done. All you've got to do now is do a spot of varnish on the head. I normally hold the fly in my hand to do this. And that brings us to the end of lesson 10, the stick fly. I think you will find this being a relatively easy fly to tie and a good addition to your box, particularly early season for the rainbows. So until the next time, from Dave Cammiss and the team, happy fishing.